Nope. Boing. Blah, blah, blah.
Blob's like, I'm sorry, don't tell mom, don't tell mom. The amount of times that I have heard that and said that in my life is astounding.
That's childhood for you. And we return to a boy and his blob. Alrighty, back in World 3, trekking through Blobonia.
Aww. Some of these like make me feel kind of bad because they really are just like, hey, do, and then Blob is like dead.
So we got a new bean. Cannon! Fire the boy, even though he's fragile. Whee!
How does that not kill him?
Yeah, I don't know. There's no consistency whatsoever. It's like if you control the movement, it'll kill the boy. If the game controls the movement, he's fine.
The boy is fine.
Yeah. And I'm just like, well, fuck you too.
Rude.
That is like my biggest hang up with like how fragile boy is. To where like little shit can't swim.
Yeah.
He can't fall from certain heights. He can't get touched by basically anything.
I mean, he is like 4, but I feel like younger kids are also more... They can fall from a tree and be fine.
Well, yeah, they'll smack their head off a wall and then laugh and then keep running.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, I'll be like, son of a bitch, like your elbow with that door.
Oh my god, that hurt so bad. I like elbowed the corner of the door, but it was like at the exact same angle, so it just made like blunt contact and the door didn't move. Oh, it hurt so bad.
I heard it. I was on the first step coming up the stairs, and I just heard a poof, son of a bitch.
Oh my god, it hurt so much.
It cut you up.
I thought I broke my elbow for a second. I was like, holy shit.
Oh, well, good thing you didn't. That would be very unfortunate.
Yeah.
So how'd this happen?
Well, I elbowed the corner. I'm like the worst because you know how like the stereotypical like abuse excuse is like, oh, I ran into the doorknob.
I know.
I would actually be the person to run into the doorknob.
Yeah, you make me sweat nervously.
Like,
how'd this happen?
I know. Be like, no, really, I'm just...
It wasn't me. Swear to God, it wasn't me.
But that's the thing. Anyone who knows me would be like, dumbass. Like, they would know that I'm telling the truth.
That's the thing, though. Like, in the emergency room, they'd be like, how'd this happen? She's a dumbass. And they wouldn't like that answer too much.
No.
Do you know how this happened? Yeah, she's a bit of a dumbass.
Oh, well... It's really funny. The hospital that's right by us, one of my regulars at work works there in the emergency department.
No kidding.
So when I found out, I told her, I was like, well, you may see me when my gallbladder decides to kill me.
Yeah, I figure if you were like a video game character, you'd be boy.
Yeah, probably.
Just fall over. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Okay, can't lift that.
Hey, listen, I tried. I need my blob.
Alright, so I can go down there to continue the level, but that chest is enticing me. So I just gotta figure out. Haha!
There you go.
Thank you, a chest for me.
Also, if anyone hears like weird crackles or taps, I have an ice pack.
Yeah.
And not for any injuries, but I'm just very, very warm.
Yeah, we turned the AC off during these recordings.
Yeah.
And we refused to do it yesterday because it would have
Yesterday
burned us
it was
alive.
like 95 degrees outside. We would have died.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Well, you'd have killed me, or we'd have died.
Yeah.
Turning the AC off. Hey, where'd my hand go?
I was miserable. I am such a miserable person in the heat.
No, I get it, because even I was like a little like nauseous.
Yeah.
Because like after eating, I'd be like, ooh.
Yeah, it was so hot and so humid. But we had a thunderstorm last night, so it's not as hot right now, but I think it's still just really humid.
Yeah, it still has a bit of humidity.
So, which also makes me feel pretty miserable So I have like ice packs on my body to cool me down.
But it's son of a bitch. But it's also like relatively early in the morning. So we're trying to beat the heat, which is what I did when I did roofing.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to get up around 5
like-
o'clock in the morning,
Well,
and then
we
you beat the heat because it starts to warm up around like 11.
Yeah.
And then it gets like fuck you hot starting at 2.
Well, we did that when I did like outside guard.
Okay.
We would get up and our like in the summertime when we were learning the new routine, like our practices would start at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, okay.
And then we would be done by noon.
That makes sense. Jesus, what am I supposed to do here now?
Keep on dying.
Just keep on scratching.
But yeah, whenever you put like an ice pack on something hot, it has like the crack that's pretty loud, so I didn't want to be like, oh, what's that?
Yeah.
It's my ice packs.
Yeah, plural.
Yeah. Well, we have a ton of ice packs. I don't even know why we have so many. No, that's a lie. I do know why we have so many.
I have a hunch why we have so many, but go on.
Because, again, we live in my childhood home.
Son of a bitch.
So me and my siblings were all really, really, really accident prone. So we do.
Oh, it's not just you.
No, it's not just me.
Runs in the family.
I mean, you. I was about to be like, well, you met my parents.
Did I, though?
No, you didn't. Both of my parents were really accident prone as well.
Okay.
My dad went to like one time throw a plank of wood from the yard over the side of the hill, and he caught his finger on a nail and it ripped his finger off.
Oh.
Yeah. So
God damn.
it runs in the family.
Yeah. I mean, I thought I was pretty accident prone, but like you got me beat.
My mom came home and the dog jumped on her and she tipped over and bit through her tongue.
Oh.
Yeah.
My.
Yeah. So we're a pretty accident prone family.
Son of a bitch.
So we have a lot of ice packs, but I have like a really big ice pack that's on my back right now.
Yes, you do.
And it was almost instantaneous. As soon as I leaned back, I was like, oh, I'm not a miserable bitch. It's amazing. And then I have a little one that I'm putting on like the blood travel areas where your blood travels fastest to help cool down.
Hey, again, as long as we're comfy.
Yeah. For anyone that doesn't know where that is at, it's on your inner arms, your like right by your inner thigh by your knees, and your chest.
Okay.
So, and then you could also do like the soft side of your forearms as well. But that's like where your blood travels fastest. So it'll help cool you down a little faster.
It looks like it's working though.
Yeah.
So that's good. Because like we were sipping on the water and you're just like, this ain't doing enough.
I'm just like, I'm so miserable.
Gonna grab me an ice pack. Okay. Alright, so what the hell am I supposed to do here? Fuck! Well, not that. Blob's like, hey, you okay?
I feel like Blob is like Milo in his heyday.
I'm gonna start eating on your corpse. Like that?
Oh my god. Have I ever told you the first time that I like really hurt my back?
I'm
receiving a phone call.
Yeah.
The first time that I like really hurt my back, I was standing in the kitchen and I like immediately fell and I was laying on the kitchen floor and like I couldn't get up. And so I'm just laying there like, oh my god, I'm gonna die here. Like I lived alone and I couldn't get up. And freaking Luna comes over and she sits on top of me. And I'm like, girl, this is not gonna help. And then fucking Milo comes over and starts biting my toes. I'm like, I'm not even dead yet.
There we go. Hey. That's what I was trying to do, but it didn't work the first time. I wanted him to turn into a cannon down there. No, the other way, you moron. There we go.
Okay, so how does he fire? Does he fire it? No.
I guess not. Sometimes he does, but That time I didn't like move it because I wanted the boy to get in front.
Okay.
And I was like, hold!
Hold.
Don't shoot yet, Blob. I'm getting in the way. Okay, what else can we do here? Ah, okay. Gonna be adjusting the scenery. No problem. Come on, Blob. We gotta move the level. And... Nope. Boing. Blah, blah, blah.
Blob's like, I'm sorry. Don't tell Mom. Don't tell Mom. The amount of times that I have heard that and said that in my life is astounding.
That's childhood for you.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. Don't tell Mom.
I'm sorry. Don't tell Mom. Considering how accident prone you all were, I'm sure that was like, oh boy, today's episode of the Today's episode of the family.
It's so funny because they knew my mother's voice at the emergency room.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Like, she would call and they would just be like, which one is it today, Mrs. Schrott? Like, it was so funny because she would just be like, oh, it's Donnie. Like, and they'd be like, bring him in. Like, she didn't even have
like,
to...
place your bets. Place your bets.
Like, she didn't even have to go through intake anymore. Like, they knew our information.
Wow.
We were regulars at the emergency room. Like... But I think one of my favorite ones, because even now, we still have no idea how it happened. My brother had found, I think it was like an ice pick.
Okay.
Or something. It was like a really sharp little screwdriver.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to ask my mom what it was. Keeping in mind, he was like 17. Okay. So we weren't little kids anymore.
Right.
And he like went to ask her what it was, and she looked at it and she was like, I don't know. Let me see if I can find out. And like turned to get her phone, and then she just hears, uh-oh. And looks back, and this thing is through my brother's hand. And she was like, what the fuck happened? And he's like, I don't know. Like, how?
Oh my God.
Like, how?
At least his reaction was, uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Like,
Was he probably just like, how sharp is it? Oh.
yeah, probably.
Oh, look at that. I've been impaled.
And then, of course, like...
Look at my little chariot.
I love it.
I look like a float. Oh, get some Tootsie Rolls for the kids. Come on, little Tootsie Rolls. Jelly beans for everyone.
And it was always really funny because, of course, like, my grandparents are grandparents, and they would buy us things that we probably shouldn't have had.
Sounds about right.
Like, I forget how... We weren't teenagers yet, but we weren't, like, small children. And they decided it would be a good idea to get us a dartboard. With, like, actual darts.
Oh, boy.
And, my mom told us we were only allowed to play with it outside. And we were like, yeah, right. And me and my siblings were like, all right, let's play darts. Donnie, you hold the board first. So my brother is standing there holding the dartboard while me and my sister are throwing pointed darts at him. And, yeah, he got stabbed.
You didn't think to pin it up to a wall or a tree or anything? You're just like, hey,
we're like, you hold it first.
Hold it. Woo, boy. Couple nuggets short of a Happy Meal this family was. A 3-piece Happy Meal.
Oh, my God. So good.
Jesus.
So good.
Oh, you can't buy memories like that, as they say.
Nope.
I think I gotta make another platform. Because that's another thing. This kid is no Mario brother. He has no jumping arc. He just...
Man, white men can't jump.
White man can't jump.
Anyone who's ever seen... Oh, just put the ice pack in an armpit.
There you go.
Anyone who's ever seen Robin Hood Men in Tights?
It's one of our favorite movies on this
Oh
channel.
my
I think
God,
we quote it at least once per playthrough.
I love it.
At least once per playthrough. We do Robin Hood Men in Tight quotes, SpongeBob quotes.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure my brain just thinks in SpongeBob quotes.
I mean, that's very common for people our age.
Like...
Of our generation. Haha, I trapped you. Now for a collision course.
Let's smash them together.
I do feel like a kid.
All right, this is Miss Twinkles, and she's going to kiss Mr. Pluffles.
Jesus. But yes.
There we go.
Um,
Haha, that worked. Puzzles everywhere.
Over here.
Let's put Zelda to shame with the amount of puzzles you gotta solve on a basis. Also, at least in Zelda, you can take damage. Alright. Nope. Not high enough. Down, thank you. Ready? Let's try this again. No, don't touch just go through. Come on, boy. There we go.
I was gonna say, how shitty would it be if it fell on you and you died?
I don't think that counts because there was a moment when like I freed a chest and it fell on me and it fell through me. I was like, thank you, God.
Okay.
Because if that would have killed me, I'd be like, that's the end of the Boy and His Blob playthrough. I hope you had fun. Next up is something else.
I remember it was I think I've said it already. It was our second date and we went to the exchange and I like saw this game and I like made fun of it in a way.
Yeah, you were like,
because of its title. I was like, a boy and his blob. And then you were like, I don't know, it looks kind of good. And I'm like, this bitch.
It looks good. I mean, it's even not bad gameplay wise. It's just like very stingy and what's the term I'm looking for? Inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like you get one thing to work and it's just like, okay, boy's fragile. But then like a cutscene happens and he's flying and I'm just like, boy, that'd be a lot more fun if that happened in gameplay.
He's like tumbling down this cliff and you're like, well, all right.
Like those mine things, they have splash damage. So like you can detonate them, but if like you're in the splash range, the splash zone, you get hit and I'm just like, oh, for God's sakes. Other way, Blob. Well, that worked, I guess. Ish.
Blob is like, listen, I'm doing the best I can.
Well, you also can't control Blob.
Yeah.
Like, what I would have liked, and I think I stated this before,
is
was
to
like...
have control of Blob with either a second player or...
Or just like a different setup.
Yeah.
But yeah, a second player that controls Blob, I'd be game for that. I mean, they try their best, but like, again, like, AI is never going to reach that point to where, like, it's as competent as the player.
Right.
There's good AI, there's bad AI, there's fine AI, but at the end of the day, like, the player, that's the full control.
Say AI again.
AI?
Ready?
Yeah.
The more you say it, the less it sounds like an actual thing.
Oh, okay. Because, like, the music's good. The graphics are great. Like, I love the hand-drawn animation.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is the best graphical style a video game can get. Like, I love sprites. I think sprites stand the test of time,
Yeah, I think
unlike
they
early
age really
3D
well.
models.
For sure.
Whereas, for me, like, I do find, like, this sense of, like, imagination with early 3D games. And I wanted to touch on this, that, like... Early 3D games to me are like that episode with like SpongeBob in the box, to where like they just use tools, and to the average gamer it's just like just a box. But like when they have that imagination and they build atmosphere with like the soundtrack and the uses of fog and stuff like that,
Right.
and like it's really cool. It's like the Old West. They were just trying to make something similar to the games they made prior and the games they eventually built to, but it was a building block.
Yeah.
and I really like the atmosphere looking back. Whereas sometimes I feel like games nowadays are a little too clean.
Yeah.
Like there's no sense of atmosphere. But when it comes to 2D, this stuff looks even better than sprites. Like it's not pixelated, it's nice and smooth. Animations are fluid. It's beautiful. It's like 2D animated movies look so much better than like early 3D animated movies.
I mean, we just recently watched Pirates of the Caribbean, and it was like, oh, I remember these graphics being so much better.
Yeah, I'm curious if like the following movies are gonna have weird CGI, because like I remember being really impressed by the Kraken in Dead Man's Chest.
Yeah. Well, we shall see.
So I'm gonna be like, oh, does this thing still look like PlayStation?
Yeah.
And like, was it completely CG? Because that was how I felt when we were watching Harry Potter. Like Sorcerer's Stone, a lot of things looked really funky and puppety. But the Basilisk looked really cool because it was a blend of CG but also an animatronic.
Right.
So like, the Basilisk still looks really good.
Well, I mean, it's even like that with Stranger Things.
Okay.
Like, I was reading up on like how they do the monsters and stuff for Stranger Things, because I was like, that you had mentioned like, is it a suit or is it CG? Like, we were almost unsure of what it was. And it's a mix of all of it. So it's like, it is a guy in a suit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the suit is very detailed and very intense, but the things that they use CG for are like his little tendrils that are moving.
Okay.
So while it is a mix of both, they like really wanted to stick with like the 80s monster magic.
Okay.
Which I think makes it look even cooler because it is actually a person. And like, genuinely, I feel like no matter how hard you try, CG is never going to move like an actual person will.
Correct. That's how I feel rewatching. Have you ever seen like those weird Uncanny Valley Robert Zemeckis movies like Beowulf?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen Beowulf.
A Christmas Carol. Mm-hmm. They are weird, especially looking back. Like they are just something else. Because there was like Beowulf, The Polar Express.
Yeah.
He did another one. Christmas Carol, missing one. Oh well. But yeah, those kind of movies to where like they're creepy.
I saw Polar Express at the Science Center in that giant theater and threw up.
Ooh.
I had to leave. I didn't even get to finish watching the movie.
At least you got to watch an actual movie. I saw like The Miracle of Childbirth.
Ooh, that is not something you want to see in that theater.
Well, I did.
You're just like, oh, I see the light.
I saw curtains.
Ew.
I was just like, really?
Ew.
Now I'm mad. You got to see the fucking Polar Express.
Yeah.
I saw some educational shit.
No, I saw the Polar Express. I saw part of the Polar Express.
Like, I remember our instructor being like, you got to take this seriously, and he's snickering, and we all go home. So I'm just sitting here just like, whatever.
I don't know. I feel like there's not much snickering with childbirth. Just because it's so absolutely horrifying.
Well, you never know. You have like a class, and it's like 8th grade.
I never had like a health class that did like sex education.
God bless you, child.
Well, by the time I reached high school, so many of the girls already had babies. They were like, well, what's the point?
Touche.
But like, the more that I learned about childbirth, the less I wanted to have children.
That's fair too.
Like,
I was always on and off with kids.
I never wanted to like...
And like, mostly off.
Yeah. I never wanted to have children of my own, but I like teeter back and forth with like adoption. But like, I never wanted to like birth a child.
Right. I just honest to God, I'm too selfish.
Same.
Like, I have so much that, like, I want to accomplish and stuff. A child would just get in the
I'm
way.
too selfish and I'm too inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you, if anyone, know best about that, where it's like, for weeks, I'll, like, make breakfast, like, nice breakfasts, and then I'll just go through a stint of, like, months where I'm just like, I don't know, find something to eat.
Yeah. And I'll be like, well, okay.
You can't do that when you have a child.
I mean, you can, just don't let anyone find out.
Yeah. But yeah, I found out, like, after you have the baby, like, the placenta that's birthed, like, rips a giant dinner plate sized hole
All popcorn content is recommended for ages 13 and up.
on your insides. That sounds so painful.
Yeah, you think?
Who would voluntarily do that?
It's not just that. Who
No.
would go through that and be like, I want another?
I know.
Be like, I'm sealing this shit up.
My mom was so mad when she found out I was coming. Woo.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Could you imagine trying to seal the gate and it's just like, oh, hang on, we got one more.
We got a straggler. Like, yeah.
All right, so now that we're done with that colorful commentary,
Woo.
we'll see you all in the next episode.
I mean, I guess childbirth kind of looks like the Blob right there.
Toodles.
Mom, you're covered in placenta.